Like, you don't even deserve nobody like Coyote to come at you, bro, because it all comes from jealousy. Jealousy. I love that song by Ghostface Killer. It's true. He's talking about Joey, Back to the Future, bro. Because it's like, how in the fuck is Drake over here beefing with Kendrick Lamar and you want to insert yourself in some sort of this beef? I don't know what the fuck it is.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil lay inside your box now while the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Serbavelli, back in the place to be, La America Superior Palace 81 Studios. We are live in effect, live and direct. It's your boy Mr. Nine Times. Yeah, man, today's mathematics is equality. So, treat everybody fairly, man. Don't be one of those assholes. Go about life being fair and treating others as you would like to be treated. Now, that doesn't mean to fucking let people disrespect you. If people disrespect you, then it's got to be some disrecognition going on over here. You know what I mean? Just make sure that whenever you deal with others fairly. Equality, peace. Today's drip check, I have on New Balance 725s, Dickie shorts, Imperial white grave robber tee, and Columbia sunglasses, and fucking I forgot what. This is just like was this the Rose Bowl shits? Whatever, the World Series, 88 Dodgers with the pink under brim. I took last week off, man. Literally not because I wanted to, but because there was no there was no other way for me to do the podcast. I was like physically just burnt out. I worked 6 days last week, so I literally, my off day, whenever I work, like my day off, never feels like I have an off day. It just feels like I had like 8 hours of free time. Cause like I did everything I would do in 2 days in 1 day, and I just reminded myself that I need to fucking clean the water out of the pond, because that's the only thing I forgot to do. I did everything else, but that's fine. That's something that only takes a little bit, but it's just everything that stacks up on top of each other. It just kind of like feels overwhelming. So last week I took last week off, but still like I'm ahead in episodes. So I still want to get more guests on, but who knows? First and foremost, Boulevard Nights got moved from May 24th to May 31st, and still it's going down and everything like that. We just ended up having to move it, and it's funny because things work in mysterious ways, and I don't know if I want to address what I wanted to talk. I kind of wanted to talk about this, but I don't. So maybe this is a cliffhanger, but whatever. Like I have certain things that I wanted to talk about, but it's just I don't want to talk about it right now because there's some things that I say on the podcast and then it kind of manifests behind the scenes in a different way, most of the time for the better, but I just don't want to shoot myself in the foot, or jump out the window just yet. I feel like I can just talk about some things I don't need to if I don't need to, right? So but I recorded 6 songs in 2 hours today. I feel like I kind of warm my vocals up, so I can I feel like I could record another 6 songs if I had them, but I feel like I have like 2 or 3 songs that I'm writing already for Greenlight 5, and so that's coming. So I got a lot of work done today. I'm going to get a lot of more work done, and I feel like I can work on more beats and see what fits, because right now there's like 3 or 4 beats that kind of sound the same, and I don't want that. I kind of want it to be kind of dynamic and sonically go in different chambers and I'm doing a really good job of that. And as of right now, it looks like I only have one feature. I'm trying to get different people on. I've had for like literally since when Greenlight 4 ended, 5 started, but then it stopped in a way, you know. So like Daisy in the Rain 4 was shit that was gonna be on 5, like beats that was basically beats for 5 that I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna start from scratch. I feel like every album, it's like it bleeds into the next, and you'll even have references to albums. If you really listen to all my albums, it's like they all go into each other in some sort of manner, whether it be like thematically, sonically, or conceptually, or even in the rhymes, you know. That's what I love about being an artist, is kind of like I have my own way of doing things. I was on Chat GPT, and I you know, I go on Chat GPT, you know, not even, you know, this is the second time I went on Chat GPT, but I wanted like an album review, right? And they couldn't review Greenlight 4 because I guess it's constituted as a playlist and not an album. And it's funny because whoever they is, like the AI, it generated this review of shit that's already out there. And I feel like AI, that's what AI is now, is just stringing together a bunch of information that's already out there, and it based like maybe 70% of their assessment on one person. I think it's called Spitfire Hip Hop, shout out to y'all, but they reviewed A Painter's Paradise, which is with me, JBL, and the Historian, and they reviewed it, and they said some shit like street style, braggadocious, vivid imagery, rhymes, and all that. And that's what AI did for Greenlight 4 when they reviewed it. So I was like, oh, okay, like this isn't like they could listen to it like, you know, like in cybernet and fucking give me a review. It's like they're pulling information from different shit. And so instead of reviewing the whole album like musically and everything like that, I fucking shot them my writtens for the songs. And funny enough, they gave me feedback, which I didn't really care for, because a lot of what the biggest criticisms they were trying to give me were like, you say things for shock value, and that sometimes it doesn't fit, and then you dramatically go from one thing to the next, like talking about braggadocious rhymes to like your emotions that you might have for a woman. And then what else was it? I don't know, some shit like that. Maybe I'll remember it, but I thought it was very interesting that AI can like give me some help, but I'm not going to take advice from literally nobody, you know. It's kind of more so me, the way I look at it is the way I've been able to maneuver in life is because I didn't give a fuck about what anybody has to say about my music or anything like that, because I feel the same way about people and giving my advice to the younger artists. I think the best advice I can give a younger artist is just do it the way you want to do it, and take everything and any advice you get with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, it's not their career, it's yours. So you can take all the advice and help from everybody else, but at the end of the day, it's ultimately your decision, your career, and you're going to push the button yourself if that's what you do. Now, if you have other people, helpers and all that shit that help your career, and you rely on your business decisions from other people, then that's on you. The way I look at it is, I think if you need help from other people, or you rely solely on help from others, you're weak, and you walk through life on this crutch that you shouldn't have. As an artist, you need to be very self motivated and self dependent and independent on yourself, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's your career. Like, why would you be, you know, I don't have no business partners or anybody that's kind of like has the paws hand up my ass and puppets my career. I don't have anybody like that. I'm everything you see from the podcast to the clothes and everything, it's all me. I don't need anybody for anything. I just do what I like to do, and that's how I go about my life. I I don't care for advice. So with the advice, I just thought it was really interesting. Let me try to get some quotables over here. Let me see. Okay, and I fucking lost it. Great, I deleted it. But I took a screenshot that I liked. Let me see. Now that I remember. So I only save what the positives. I think so. For this one, it was they reviewed 9x19, which is the first song off of Bigger Nine, and they put visual imagery. There's a lot of strong visual imagery in these lyrics, like marijuana smoke screen from the chillum and my gun spit thunderbolts. These lines help grant a vivid scene that the listener can almost see and feel. The use of imagery like hammers dropping on your coco and deeper than 10 when we mobbing enhances the gritty, larger than life atmosphere. Another one another key point was confidence and swagger. The tone is confident and assertive with plenty of swagger throughout. Phrases like "I'm so ahead of the rhymes" and "Tell a parasite find another host" show a strong sense of self-belief and superiority, which is a big part of the rap game. You make it clear that you're not just rapping for the sake of rapping, you're doing something next level, which I appreciate. Even a fucking robot will be able to tell you that I'm trying to push the envelope and do different things. That's not nothing new. That's something I've kind of been trying to do for a long time now, even when actually, no, the first kind of part of my career was just trying to rap good. By the time I hit 3, I was like, oh, okay, now I can get to the point where I can produce myself, make better lyrics, and kind of take it from there. So now I just feel like maybe with Bigger Nine, I'm really doing that. And it took a lot of Ghostface influence for me to see that, because you have to study the greats. There's no unless you're just going to do what Ghost did and you're just going to go to South Africa and invent a fucking whole style not on a beat and then you come back. I feel like I added my own sazon to this shit. There's a lot of rappers that just rap like, okay, it's like, this is Griselda, this is, Mobb Deep, this is that. Like, your styles are not brand new. There's very few rappers I feel like have their own thumbprint on the game. And obviously the last big wave to come out was Griselda, that inspired a whole different generation of artists such as myself to come out and rap. But nevertheless, I feel like with the AI shit, I think it is a good tool. But for me, it kind of just fed my ego, oh yeah, even, you know what I mean? Which I don't know how I feel about that. I get jazzed up about it, but I'm not gonna solely rely on that, because the way I go through life is I don't seek validation or any sort of reputation from anybody. It's just, I think that's very silly and kind of almost arrogant to just be relying on the words of others. Because if I relied on the words of others, I would be a shell of who I am. The way I am as a person now is because I had to go through so much of people telling me, you can't do that, you don't do that, this don't make sense, why would you rhyme like that, why would you rhyme over this beat, I don't understand these beats sound like this. And it's at the end of the day, fuck you. Whether you like it or you love it, you can go fuck yourself, because I'm doing what I love to do the way I want to do it, because that's just me as an artist. I'm not looking for anything other than being better than who I was the day before. A lot of artists don't do that. A lot of artists, they want to fit in. They want to find themselves within a lane. They don't want to go outside of the box. They don't want to challenge and be controversial and kind of push the envelope. And that's what this culture needs. This culture needs trendsetters who are not afraid of taking risks. A lot of people are not doing that. But here I am, doing what the fuck I'm saying I'm gonna do, because that's what I'm gonna do, Should we talk about sneakers? Hold on. Let me look at my notes real quick, because that's just me freestyling and shit. Pause if necessary. Did we say rest in peace, Pope Francis? If we didn't, yeah, rest in peace to Pope Francis. Yeah. I shot 3 music videos. What is it? Last week, the week before, I shot 2 podcast episodes with Migs and 30. Before that, I did the radio station interview with PBP. I'm gonna go on record right now and say I'm not necessarily happy about that interview. This is no shots to PBP. Sure, he means like very well and stuff. I just think he's a little bit of a novice interviewer. I don't feel like he was locked in, and I felt like he was just talking about himself a lot of the time. That's no disrespect to him. That's no shots. I just feel like I spent, out of the whole hour, I probably spent a good 20 minutes, if that, talking about me. You know, it felt more like I was the host and he was the guest. Like, I would say shit and then he would just go on this whole fucking trajectory of what he wanted to say. And there were some good clips out of that. I want to say there was maybe like good 4 or 5 points. As I always give you jewels if it's like an hour of a show and you see me on it, you're going to get jewels. But in this instance, it was like this fool just kept talking and I was just there like, okay, like whatever it is. Whatever, I felt like I said what I needed to say. And not only that, but I feel like he's like stepping on his own promo for his show. So that's what I mean. Like, he wasn't really locked in because he posted the post, first of all, just like with the cover with me, and he put somebody else's music on. That pissed me off because it's like, what is this about? Like, who are you really promoting? Are you promoting your homies or you're promoting me? I have music, and his excuse was you couldn't find my music. Okay, if you couldn't find the fucking music, you can always message me. So right there was kind of like, okay, we're already off on the wrong foot. He posted the first video he posted, the 2 videos he posted were cool, but he didn't post it on his stories. So I didn't post it on my stories. Like, if you're not going to promote me on your platform, why would I promote me on your platform either? Like, I didn't care for the interview all that much. And I know I said better shit. So what's going to happen is when that comes out, I'm going to chop the clips and put what I think I liked about it on my channel. And it's whack that I don't even have the footage. There's so many things I could say more that, like, if I wanted to bury him, like the homie, I could. But again, I don't want to come like this to come off like if I have a personal issue with him, because I don't. Like, I think professionally he has a lot of teeth cutting to do, which is you know what I mean? Like me, we're on, I don't even remember. Like, this is like episode 224 or 5 or some shit. Like, I don't even count them shits. I'm not one of these episode 225. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of these fucking people, podcasters that, they, like, it doesn't matter. Like, fuck it. Who cares what fucking episode this is, bro? Like, I just go in, I lock in, I give you jewels, I talk about my life, I get the fuck out of here. I don't mean to take up your time, because everybody, time is money, and everybody that spends their time watching my content, I appreciate it. So for you to have a show and talk very little about your guests says a lot about you and your show, bro. I don't know. These are just critiques, and this is not like disrespect. So I kind of like, that was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this shit again, if I even get offered to do it again, but whatever. Everyone has a time to learn and to hone their craft, which I'm all for. I want everybody to do better, even if it means making me look bad, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure he meant well. I know, when it comes to the game and all that shit, I understand how it works. A lot of people aren't all the way locked in. And maybe not everybody's a team player. A lot of people are kind of like, if it makes me look good, I'll kind of do it if it makes me look good. You'll see the episodes with 30. If you haven't already, see the episodes with 30 and Migs. I tried my best not to really talk. And if there was ever an episode where I talked more than the guest, it was because I was trying to pull something else from my guest. Like Dub was like, yeah, you talk, you don't really let me talk and shit. And I feel like that was more so because he would kind of like stutter a lot, or I was trying to help him, and then I would go off like side rail that shit. So I don't know. I apologize to Dub, publicly. I apologize to him privately. I don't need to fucking apologize to nobody. But that's my dog. And anybody that tells me like has an issue with me or is like, yo, dog, like, I'm not gonna be a dickhead and be like, whoa, there's a lot of these assholes out here that make mistakes, and it's not their fault. No, like whenever people in the rap game is like whenever it's time to take accountability for people, like people have no fucking sense of like, oh my bad, let me try to fix or fucking where's my water at? Like kind of like, that's all I'm trying to say. The Cortez Honey Black 95s came out. I wanted those so bad, bro. The password to get in to buy them was in my spam folder, and it was in my spam folder and I couldn't find it. So I wasted like 5 minutes trying to find the fucking password. I find it. The wait in line is 45 minutes. And I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. If people, like I see on Twitter, like, where's the password? Cortez was giving the password out. So I said, cool. That's a good shot. Better chance for me. I waited. The wait time was 45 minutes. At the 40-minute mark, sold the fuck out. Didn't get them. I was fucking like, why, Then the next pair of shoes to come out, I think the next day, were the big bubble pink foam ones, thanks to Kim Kardashian and her bullshit ass fucking imagery. She, there was a picture of her wearing the pink foams in 2022, so I feel like a lot of people had stock in those, 95s. Couldn't get them either. They didn't even hit on them. There was no way I fucking was able to hit on them. So what did I do? On Google, and they sent me a notification. If you miss the pink foam bubbles, you can get these. So Nike came out on the low with wolf gray 95s and these black ones that have purple on the inside and then purple bubbles, I think, or blue ones. I could be wrong, but right now I think on Nike.com it's those. It's the wolf grays, black with the blue inside and blue bubble, or black with the purple bubble and the purple inside, and white with like the red stitching on like the layers, right? Which I kind of don't really like. I don't really like that shit, but whatever. I ended up getting the wolf gray, super comfortable. And I'm like, how come these feel like really familiar? It's because they're fucking the original Fila Disruptors. And the more I think about it, I'm like, no fucking way. Fila is just over here. The reason why a lot of people aren't wearing Filas is because they're over here chasing classic Nike models. Cordas are fucking dunks. What is it? There's like another model that they just came out with that look like Jordan 1s. Fila Disruptors are basically Air Max 95s. They came out in 96. That just shows you how behind Fila is. And it's kind of like me. It's like, I don't ever want to wear shoes that people look, he couldn't get the fucking dunks, so he got those. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. That's how it feels like when I can't get when I'm wearing shoes and it just looks like other shoes. You know what I mean? So that literally made me feel like giving away all my Filas. Like, no fucking way. I think I am gonna give away just some Filas and shit, but not because I'm mad or anything, but because, like, I got a lot of shoes and these could go somewhere else, like where I feel like people would appreciate them. I feel like I'm just at this point just taking advantage of what I have and buying more, and it just becomes wasteful. So if I could kind of like, I'm a very giving individual. If people don't know, I'm more than happy to help out whoever for whatever. I don't care whether it be giving my clothes away or letting people borrow money or any sort of favors like that. I'm a sole believer in helping people out because that's just kind of the person I am. I contrary to popular belief, I am a really nice guy. I do like helping people out. And I feel like I got that from my father, man. My father, he does everything he can to help everybody out, even when he knows like it's not gonna be a two-way street. And that was something like I've always disliked with my father, because I would even tell him like these people they don't help us. Like, why are you helping these people? They don't help us at all. But it took me a long time to realize that like that's just him being a good person. I'm pretty sure I've said this shit before. It feels very familiar, but I as I'm growing more and maturing, I'm like, you know what? It's just good karma to do it. I don't go around giving out favors to get favors. I just fucking do it. You know what I mean? And that's all I feel like I can ever do, and you could ever do in life, is just be good and hope that you get good shit back. Don't mean you could fucking be in the worst circumstances, in the worst cases, and still be giving and just get fucked over. But I know where that line is. Like, I see that line, and I don't ever blur the lines of I'm gonna help you, you don't help me. That's fine. That was that one that time that you helped me, that was a free, that I helped you, that was a freebie, because I ain't gonna help you out no more, bro, because all you doing is taking and take. I hate takers, bro, whether that be women, scumbags, dickheads, whatever, pause, whatever, whoever it is. Check this out, bro. I'm gonna help you out. If you don't feel like helping me out in return, that's fine, that's on you. Have a good one. Have a great day. Enjoy your life. Because I'm not ever going to come and help you ever again in my fucking life. I don't owe nobody shit. Nobody owes you shit. But a lot of people, they take advantage of that. They see, oh, look at that Big Serbs. He's willing to help all these people out. Let me get help from him because I need help. And I'm not going to give it to nobody. I'm just going to be fucking help me Harry. You know what I mean? Help me. I can't help you. You help yourself. You help me, I won't help you. And that's how these people are. Fuck them in the ass. Throw them over the bridge. Biggie Smalls. Pause. That's just how I feel about help, right? I don't even know where I was going with this shit. I really don't. Forgot where I was going to. So I shot 3 music videos in downtown LA. One of them is called Envy. It's on Greenlight 5. I'm pretty sure it's out already. Mantequilla off of Bigger 9. It's out already. And then one secret video that you haven't seen yet because it's produced by NC, and I don't know when we're gonna drop this fucking video. Man, what the fuck? God damn it. I don't know what just happened. God damn it. No. Yo. All right. Are we good? Man. All right, good thing I don't know where we were, or I don't know, fucking it deleted some shit or it picked some shit up, but what is it, like the 28 mark? I don't know. So I've been watching Mr. McMahon. Let's check this out. Fuck Mr. McMahon. This show on Netflix about him wasn't even about him. They spent about 5 minutes talking about him. Basically, he grew up in like poverty, was beaten and abused by his mom and his stepdad. Then he met his biological father when he was like 12, 13, 14, something like that, very young teenager. Then he started getting into wrestling, and he basically buys his dad like never really loved him, never showed him any affection. He buys the business from him. His dad doesn't like that his son is his boss. He tells Vince McMahon he loves him. He dies. And then basically Vince goes on to have some of the most controversial shit go on in his life. From, they say that he helped, I think it's Jimmy Superfly Snuka, cover up the death of his wife. Like, they try to say that his wife died falling down some stairs when it was like really like she got pushed down there by Snuka. If it is Snuka, I'm like freestyling right now, so I'm sorry, if that's not him, but I think it is. All the way to the steroids, whoever the wrestler was that smacked the reporter, and Tony Atlas says, Vince came in the locker room, was like, something ought to happen to this guy, like basically telling the wrestlers like someone bitch smack him, and that's what happened. He's not a good guy. He basically like fucking raped this referee. And he has like a history of like rape, like, or like non-consensual sexual assault, with that other chick too that just came out, and fucking, he's just a slime ball. And I get that everybody can get behind the fact that he's like a business mogul, magnate, and all that shit and all these accolades. That's great, but he's just a fucking scumbag, and I don't fuck with maniacs, you know what I mean? Like, them fools with them kind of charges get poked, or they should get poked at least. So fuck him, you know what I mean? I think it was a great fucking documentary, but it wasn't about him. It was about basically the history of the WWE, which I've seen a lot of different renditions of, like the Montreal Screwjob, or the Curtain Call, or WrestleMania, how like WrestleMania 1 came about. Like, a lot of this I've seen already, and a lot of other people have. This was just kind of like, and like basically Vince, this whole time they were talking like about the allegations and shit, and he was like, oh no, like fucking, anytime he had to take responsibility for some shit, it was never his fault. He denied, dismissed, completely took zero accountability. Especially what tripped me out was for the fucking rape and the Chris Benoit shit. They brought that up where, Vince didn't even believe in CTE with Stone Cold. Same thing with Stone Cold. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all on right now? So basically, Vince was like, yeah, just Chris went nuts. So we can blame his wrestlers for psychosis, but we can't fucking put no sort of stock in hardcore research and evidence, right? This is the kind of guy Vince McMahon is. Complete denial and dismissal of the truth. And that tells me a lot about his character. Dude fucking can barely walk. When he goes into the ring, he's like, fucking, like, he could barely get into the fucking ring. He needs people to help him wipe his ass. You know what I mean? And I'm surprised he lived this long, bro. I really thought he would have, like, fucking died from having a crazy heart attack, because it really does seem like that fool's like, you have to be high strung, like a super egomaniac, to have that type of shit. Like, you just have to have like the illest of fucking mental things going on with you, So that was really interesting. I was watching that. I watched one episode of Prison Break. I didn't really like it. I don't understand. I don't really get under some of this shit. It's just, I don't know. It's not for me. I know Prison Break was a really like fucking popular show once upon a time, but nah, I'm like, nah. It's not it, dog. Let me see. Oh, dude, I was watching this shit. Joey Badass was on the Torre show, and he was basically equating him or his career to Jay-Z or Nas. Joey Badass, I love your music. You were like one of my favorite rappers once upon a time. But I don't know what you're smoking, bro, but you are nowhere near the level of a Jay-Z or Nas. Like, to me, Nas is here, Jay's here. You're way the fuck somewhere else, bro. Nowhere near. I'm sorry. Nowhere near a duck down. And this is like no shots, bro, because the how I knew Joey was on some other shit was when he dissed Kendrick Lamar with the too much West Coast dick licking. It's like, why are you're just a hater, bro. Like, you don't even deserve nobody like Coyote to come at you, bro, because it all comes from jealousy. Jealousy. I love that song by Ghostface Killer. It's true. He's talking about Joey, Back to the Future, bro. Because it's like, how in the fuck is Drake over here beefing with Kendrick Lamar, and you want to insert yourself in some sort of this beef? I don't know what the fuck it is. Joey was quiet as a mouse. Why, when this beef with them pops off and Kendrick is once again on top of the world, do you have something to say? You had nothing to say, bro. You were off doing fucking Power, Raising Kanan. You were doing really well with that shit. Stay there, bro, please. Because no one wants to hear Joey Badass go back to 1999. You left that, remember? When you used to feel so devastated, now you're on your way to greatness. Stay there, bro. I do not want to hear Joey Badass go back to the 90s rap shit. I don't. You are nowhere near Jay-Z or Nas. You have zero classics. Zero. That's not me being a hater. That's just me being real. Maybe 1999 was a classic mixtape. It was a classic mixtape for its time compared to other mixtapes of the time, right? You don't have Illmatic, Stillmatic. It was written. You don't have reasonable doubt, Blueprint. You don't have these albums, bro. I don't know who you think you are in your mind, but you're not that. I don't want him to feel like I'm coming at him or anything like that, because I'm not. I just feel like when I seen that, I was like, oh, this makes so much fucking sense of like some of the things that, you know, he's doing, you know, and, you know, I feel like he's more so like a less famous LL Cool J, almost, because LL Cool J actually had like higher profile movies, but basically that's what it is. He's like a less, and I don't want to say it like this, but for right now, he's a lesser LL Cool J. I feel like Joey Badass does have the potential to become a great actor, but he completely derailed his music career for acting, which is fine. Just don't try to come back like if fucking, you know, like if you're the best, like if you don't have something to prove. You do have something to prove, because you fell off in a lot of people's eyes. You know, I stopped checking for you. Like you, in my opinion, you dropped the ball for the whole Beast Coast. When you did the Devastated record, I stopped listening to everybody. Flatbush, Underachievers, Pro Era, you know? You dropped the ball, bro, in my opinion. So for you to leave, go on to acting and come back, I think that's bullshit, you know? And for you to even make comments like, you know, I'm like a you know, you try to compare yourself to Nas and Jay-Z, it's like, please don't, bro, stop it, bro. Because they're really like, Nas's music is studied in universities. No one's studying your music that I know of. And I could be completely wrong. I don't want this to sound like hate. I have a lot of love for Joey Badass and everybody I just said, the Beast Coast, Flatbush Zombies, all them. It's just be real, bro. Be real with yourself. Because at the end of the day, people don't have to keep it real with you. You don't have to keep it real with people. You have to look at the mirror and keep it real with yourself. You know what I mean? I hit an epiphany. I'm gonna go see Chris D'Elia again. I seen him in February. He's gonna spin the block. He's coming back at the end of the month. I'm gonna go. I actually saved up time from where I work on my days off to go see him on my day off. You know what I mean? That's how it goes. You work your day off to get a day off, right? So sweet deal for me. I worked 2 days off and got 3 days off. Fuck everybody. Chris D'Elia has a new special out. It's pretty good. It's not like a classic or anything like that, but it's just good comedy, right? Just to, you know, watch. And a lot of us, or maybe not a lot, but some of the material he was talking about came from what I saw at the Improv. And he was talking about therapy, going to therapy, and basically what he was saying was his therapist was telling him, you have a lot of anger and you don't do comedy basically because you want to make people laugh. You do comedy because you want people to accept you. When he said that his therapist told him that, it blew my mind, because that's basically what I've been not wrestling with, but thinking this whole time. And it just made me think of everything in my life and just like why I even create, because for so long in my childhood, I felt like nobody accepted me in my life. So to cope with that, I started rapping, producing, and creating music and shit so people would accept me. I'm fucking tired. I just went for a long ass walk. But I had to accept that. Like that's the only way I feel like I can get acceptance from people. You know, I don't make music to fucking. It's like I always say, the music is therapeutic for me, but the bottom line is I want people to accept me. And that's not the sole reason. Obviously, I'm pretty sure with Chris D'Elia too, he's like, you know, he's doing it for money, you know, he loves doing it, yada, yada, yada. But the subconscious or the underlying theme behind all of that, or the originality where it comes from, is for people to like you, because there's a hole in you. There's a hole in your fucking, your whole thing. And you need people to fill that. You know, you need to fill that somehow. And that's me all the way. That's me with my music for sure. I'm fucking tired, y'all. I got tired of nowhere. I'm sorry, y'all. Man. I hate doing this shit, man. I don't know. I guess we'll end it. The message of the day. Let's see, man. Message of the day is understand who you are. The better you can understand who you are as a person is to better understand the universe and life itself, man. You always gotta make sure you're on top of who you are, and don't let yourself become something else if you're not okay with it. Always understand yourself. And if you are becoming something else and changing for the better or for worse, understand why, you know, understand. That's the message of the day. This is the God's Hour.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now.
While the angels fly over my headstone.